What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today we've got a very special project, something that a lot of people have probably never seen coming. So here at Steve Morris Engines, we are very anti-nitrous, if I had to choose a word. But one thing nitrous is very good for is spooling up turbos, as you saw in our Galaxy gas video. So now that I got the real deal, the real McCoy nitrous, we can throw this thing away. There's no more use for this thing. No more use for that thing. I should have known that was gonna happen. I can't believe we're driving this thing. So we've got the real deal Nitrous Express nitrous kit, courtesy of Jimmy Dale. Shout out Jimmy Dale, thanks for sending us that stuff, man. If you watched the Trailblazer video on my dad's channel, you saw me install this on his car. Now basically we're gonna be doing the same exact thing on my car. It's just gonna be one dry shot, nothing really fancy. I'm not even gonna plumb fuel to it because all I need is like 50 to 100 horse, somewhere in that range, maybe 75. But we're gonna go ahead and install this bracket kit as well as the bottle. You'll see me do the lines, the solenoids, the whole shebang. Other thing that we're gonna be doing on this car is something that I should have done forever ago, was get these nice Motion Raceworks catch cans. So if you're anything like me, you've probably gotten the ads from Motion Raceworks, because I see it every time I'm on Facebook. The ad of Cletus blowing the air compressor into one of these and not any oil coming out. That is exactly what I need on this, because this has always had catch can issues. So really hyped to have these. I got 2 of them. So there is no way in heck that I'm gonna be having any more oil spillage from inappropriate catch cans. So let's roll into the video. Well, not gonna go in there on the bracket. Well, the bottle should definitely fit back. Oh yeah.
I don't see a problem in just leaving it like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it rolls around a little bit, but it can't go anywhere, right? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to move my fuel pump regardless, because I can't put it right like that. To space it over the fuel pump properly, I gotta have it like this. I don't know, maybe behind the fuel cell is the best spot. I think we just need to move the fuel pump and put it right here. That would be the easiest solution. All right, we have got our solenoid on. We've got our feed line here, our outline here. That's going to my plate down there, my spacer down there. Pink. It's got a little baby jet in it, so we're gonna see how it spools up once we get it rolling and everything. All I need to do is wire it. So mechanically, it's hooked up, it's all plumbed up, ready to go. I just have to wire. I've got about 100 horsepower of nitrous is what's gonna go to it. That's as much as I really want to use. Any more than that, then I would maybe really think about putting the fuel solenoid on it, which I don't really feel like doing. So we're just gonna try and dry spray it first, which, I mean, my dad's spraying way more than what I am on the Trailblazer, so I think it will be fine. Quick side note, before I get to wiring the new solenoid in for the nitrous, I have had the stock style headlights, the 2-piece headlights that came factory on this vehicle, pretty much since Bob did the 750 part of the chassis for me. So I had him just get some stock headlights for replacements. But my buddy Reno stopped me and he said, hey, those headlights are just ugly as sin. You need to get a one-piece headlight. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do that because the headlights don't make the car go faster. And we had a little discussion about it. And I get back from visiting him and he actually sent me a set of high-grade Chinesium headlights. So we're going to be taking these suckers out and putting the nice, well, looking nice one-piece headlights in. God dang, son, look at these things. Let's see here. That is gonna look nice. These look way better than the factory ones. Shout out to Reno, man. That's the homeboy. What's up, everybody? We're getting ready to do some more work on the Mustang because this thing has been sitting around doing nothing for way too long. So I've got some very important upgrades coming that are long since overdue. So let's take a look at what's going on with the front suspension, because I have never once, believe it or not, this is the one thing on this car I have never touched or changed since I got it from my grandfather. It is these front struts. These front struts and these like kind of weird slotted caster camber plates that aren't really caster camber plates. I've never touched any of that stuff. I don't even know what brand the front struts are. Nick and David Deal actually asked me about it because I was going over some suspension setup stuff with them a while back when we were on sick week. And they were like, hey, what do you have for front struts on this thing? I was like, I actually don't even know. And they're non-adjustables. So we got to change that around so that we can get going 7s in this thing. Plan right now is I have a set of double adjustable AFCO shocks coming for it, as well as some springs that we can slap on here and get this thing rolling again. So pretty excited to get the front suspension dialed in. That's one thing that I've always just hated about this car is I've never put the money into buying a good set of front struts, and the front suspension on this thing has just always been lackluster as far as like, and you can even go back in the older videos and look, when the car raises up, the front end comes up, the alignment does all kinds of crazy things. So I'm going to try and fix that and try and maybe put some limiter straps on it to keep it from separating so much, because we were having those wheelie issues. So let's get this thing started. All right, so we've got our front wheel off, and I'm just looking in here, and I think I've figured out what brand these are. Just QA1s. These have got to be QA1s, if I had to guess. But yeah, just ridden hard and put away wet, non-adjustable QA1s with 100, must be 14-inch long, 130-pound springs. Really, I guess, I mean, these things have done pretty good, considering, I guess. I mean, I've never touched them. I didn't even buy these. They came on the car. I think they've served their purpose well.
Get those suckers out of there.
But let's get these suckers out of there and replace them with something really nice. Some double adjustables. So, all right, let's get started on this thing. See, Nate was giving me crap. He's like, oh, you keep using 12 points, you're gonna strip it. No, dude, none of this stuff is corroded. This ain't some Michigan winter vehicle. Hope we can get that one in there. What was that?
That was the drop.
Oh, the knuckle drop. Had me worried for a second. I thought the car was gonna fall off the lift.
That nut's never getting found.
That nut's not getting found.
Look at that.
Bada bing. One. Rough condition QA1 coilover. Who even knows how old these things are, man? So we've got our struts out. And I noticed here that there's a little indentation right there that is not supposed to be right there. And I've also noticed that this little bearing that's supposed to be in here has also exploded. So who knows how long that's been like that? Probably forever. I don't know. But it's all fixed now, or going to be fixed, I guess. So we'll slap these back together. Pivot in front. Three minutes. 3 minutes to remove, and probably, I don't know if I had to guess, because we don't have the shocks here today. The struts will be here tomorrow, so I'll put them on tomorrow and see how long they take me to put on. But it's pretty nice. SN95 / Fox Body suspension, man, is just so good out of the box, and it's so easy to work on. I love it. So, all you Ford haters, sorry, man, I'm just speaking facts. It's one of the best chassis there is. SN95, 7904 Mustang, man.
Literally falling apart.
This thing is literally falling apart. So there's the Torrington bearing that I was talking about that's in the other one that's exploded. This one is, I don't think that it's supposed to be shaped like a flying saucer. It looks like some kind of UFO. I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be flat. But other than that, check this out.
Ooh.
I noticed this when I tried to put it back together, like screw it back together. There ain't nothing left in that shock. I can just about do whatever I want with it. And there's no bueno. The other thing before I leave for the day, because I've got the struts out, it's late and I want to go home. Unfortunately, if you guys watch my dad's channel, you saw that he got the purge valve installed in the Trailblazer way over there. So in order for him to do that, he had to steal a nitrous solenoid, so he just took it off of my car. And I'm waiting on a nitrous solenoid in order for me to finish the wiring. It's all plumbed. The bottle is mounted back here. I'll show you guys a quick glimpse of that. The bottle is mounted. I'm just waiting on that solenoid, then I can wire it. It's just one output and input. And power and ground. But there she lays. Nice little fuel pump side action right there. Heck yeah, dude. All ready to go. So, we're gonna call it a day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, we're back in the shop, and it feels like day 1,000,000, but we are here. Today is a Monday, and what the goal is with this thing, the reason why I'm doing all this right now, even though it's the very end of the season, I don't really need to be doing all this right now, is because I want to take this down with us to Florida when we go to La Mullets, so I can go testing with this. So the goal is right now, I need to put these shocks on, wire and finish plumb up the nitrous stuff here, and we should be ready to go. So I'm pretty excited to see what this new converter will do, especially with the nitrous. I mean, you guys saw how fast it came up. If I can get it to come up even marginally that fast, we're doing good. So pretty excited about that. We got our nitrous solenoid just came in right here, and our new shocks, struts. Sorry, I know my dad, every time I call these shocks or coilovers, my dad corrects me, he's like, they're struts. Like, okay, they're struts. Now, the other issue that I ran into is when these came in, a funny thing happened, and that is, I know for a fact that I ordered 2 of the exact same part numbers, but they sent me one clear anodized and one black anodized shock. So, at this point, we need to leave Wednesday, meaning the car needs to be running and driving into the trailer on Wednesday. I don't have time to send these back, and I don't really care if I have 2 different color front shocks. Nobody's gonna know anyways. It's not like you can look at both sides of the car at the same time. So we'll just not worry about it for now. We'll do something later or not, I don't know. So we've got everything we need except for springs. Springs, unfortunately, we're on back order, so they'll be here tomorrow, just in time. But in the meantime, what we're gonna see me do is wire up and plumb this nitrous so we can get that going.
It's like this car was meant to have nitrous.
It was. There's so many open tabs everywhere. We could mount one right here, right here, right here.
Oh, seriously.
We could mount one on each of these holes. There's all kinds of mounting opportunities in here. Gently massage this into place. Here. She's a beaut, that's for certain. All right, so we've got our solenoid mounted in the position that I want it in. And now we can start the oh so awesome process of wiring this thing. So these are really pretty simple to wire, especially since it's just a single stage dry setup. There's no fuel, it's just, the plumbing's done. The bottle's mounted, so it's literally just programming it into the Holly and running a few wires. So no biggie. But it is kind of a pain because I can't exactly just take this thing off of the lift right now to roll it out of the way so I can take my dash out. You'll notice that the door does not open very far. Inconvenient that I have the shocks out. So we'll just open up the door, I guess, and try and see if I can squeeze in there. And right here, you'll see that we have our high-speed nitrous solenoid that I'm going to be wiring in today. Used, of course, balling on a budget. Now, in order to get this dash out, I gotta unhook some stuff under there, and the best way to do it is a series of acrobatics to get up underneath the dash. Oh, that's where I need that. I swear, guys, one day I need to rewire this car badly, but today is not that day. How do I look right now, Nate? Do I have just an atrocious double chin?
No, it's not that bad. Don't lift your head though. You're slightly close to the brake pedal.
The brake pedal? Oh yeah, it's like right. I didn't even notice it was right above my forehead.
Quite literally a quarter inch. The other side. Ooh.
There we go. Just kind of get it on out. Oh no, my spaghetti monster has been exposed. All right, now we got to figure out where I'm going to put this thing at. I already have this one right here that you guys can see. This nitrous high-speed solenoid is actually for my bump button. So where's the best place to put this thing? Like I said, guys, I'd really need to, don't judge me too bad on my wiring. I know I need to rewire it, but you also got to keep in mind that this car, when I first wired this thing and started this project, it was nowhere near as fancy as what it is now. Meaning there wasn't half the wiring there was. So initially I only had, you know, J1B, J1A. I didn't have any of this stuff. Minimal inputs and outputs. Now the ECU is controlling a lot of stuff, and it's just one of them things where you add on top and you add on top and you add on top. You got to start over. So not doing that right now though, because that takes a long time to do. So I'm going to go ahead and try and fit this one more thing in there, which should be pretty easy. I know there's some room in there. So.
Yep.
All right, so we got our wiring ran inside. I've got my trigger wire ran to the ECU, and I've got my power wire ran to battery positive. Now we need to run these wires. So what is going to be the best way to do that is what the question is. I know that there's a good hole right in there. We're going to follow what Nate says actually this time. You know what? I'm going to get the 90-degree drill out, and I'm going to hog that hole out just a little bit bigger so I can run them two wires through there. The good thing about the 90-degree drill, it doesn't have very much power, so it's not going to like pull it through. Like that. And one key thing that you guys want to do when you're doing something like what me and Nate just did, where we drilled a really sharp hole through the sheet metal, is you want to put a firewall grommet, preferably one that's the right size, because that grommet is going to prevent that sheet metal from cutting into this wire, causing a short, making sparks, causing fire sometimes. Not a good situation. So grommets, necessity. And just like that, our wires are protected. All right, so we've got the solenoid wired in right here. So, well, the relay. So the solenoid is all set up front. This is wired. I've got my ECU pin going into the ECU right here. I'm thinking I'm just gonna let it hang here for now, for the time being, until I get something else figured out. Ultimately, this is the first time in a long time I've actually had the dash off of this car where I could look at all the wiring, and it definitely needs to be rewired. But that's, like I said a couple of times now, that's not going to happen before Wednesday. So, and there's nothing wrong with the wiring right now. And I've not had, you know, really any big wiring issues or mystery issues with this thing other than voltage issues, which is just caused from either the alternator or the battery. The wiring that's on it, it might look ugly, but it's never failed me, so, yet. So we're going to pack it up for the day. Come back tomorrow, and then my spring should be here for the struts, so we can put the struts on, do a quick alignment on it, and then we can test our nitrous function. So I'm probably just going to leave the dash off when we go testing. I'll tie up some of these wires so I have easy access to everything, just in case something happens when we're testing. I need to get in here. But that's pretty much where we're at for the day. Pretty tired. It's time to go home, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, so we got our nitrous solenoid wired up. Now we are ready to actually test it and make sure that it works. The number one most important thing. So basically what we do is go into our Holley test function right here, type in some numbers, and you can see we've got our N2O stage 1 out right there. Ignition is on. So it should make some loud clicking noises when I click this button. Sounds like a machine gun going off. Yeah, let's turn that baby up. Just like that?
Just like that?
Alright, so that's definitely working. Now, I was talking about it with my dad earlier because I was trying to get it to do like a dry test. So like I set the minimum RPM to 0 and then I just have it going off of TPS for activation. So to do that, I'll show you what I was doing real quick. So I have it enabled because I only want to use the nitrous on the trans brake. I'm not interested in using it anywhere else, at least yet. So we got our N2O enable is on the trans brake. So when the trans brake button is pressed, the nitrous is enabled and it's TPS triggered and RPM based as well. So there's a number of different caveats that you have to type into the Holley to get it to do its thing. So what I was doing is just hitting the trans brake, wide open throttle, nothing. So it turns our two bubbles green right here when I hit the trans brake, which is good. So that means that it's enabled and that it is ready to go. But when I reach my TPS threshold, notice N2O stage 1 says 0%. So I was talking with my dad about that, and apparently he said something about the engine actually does have to be running in order to make it test like that. So we're gonna give it a try and see if it'll actually pick up any signal, if the solenoid will work when it's running. So basically what I'm gonna have to do, just real quick, fire it up. I'll press the trans brake, first gear, just go wide open throttle. It just has to be for a second, and then make sure that our N2O output is working. Now this is with the nitrous off, so there's no nitrous even in the bottle back there, so no need to worry about that. We tested that, that works. Now let's go ahead and fire it up. Let's look at our data log. Now that was a beforehand sample so you guys could see what it is like with no nitrous on it. And it really wasn't that bad. It's pretty lazy, but let's see what it made for boost. Just no nitrous, like baseline pull. Oh, and I didn't even forgot to turn the boost controller on. So it made 5 pounds there in about 5 seconds. Really, well, you know, I guess it's more like 4 seconds, but still pretty slow. We can change that though, because now we got nitrous. So right now, unfortunately, the springs for my struts did not come in. So we're gonna have to be putting them on like pretty last minute before we load up tomorrow. Today is Tuesday night. So our nitrous is working, the solenoid's operating correctly. In fact, I can even hear it. It's a loud solenoid, that freaking thing. I'm over here, it's basically up on the two-step and I can hear it clicking. But take that nitrous bottle to go get filled tomorrow at the local speed shop that does nitrous refills. Then we'll put the springs on the struts, do a quick alignment, and then get this thing in the trailer because we gotta go. it's time to go down to Florida. So day number 3, we'll see you again tomorrow.
What's that plug for?
The plug?
Yep.
To plug our purge port here, because I do not have a purge solenoid for this thing. So we're just going raw right from the bottom. We might actually need to take a little bit more jet out of it. That was a 52 jet, so I think that's like 75 horse worth of nitrous, but
That
that came up
half a second.
fast. All right, so I got the data log up now, and yeah, that was probably too much nitrous because I mean it was up on the chip in 1/2 of a second, and it didn't even it blew through it so fast and got up on the chip so fast it didn't even have an opportunity to build boost. It only built 2 pounds. 2 pounds in 1 second though, so it's not terrible. Plus I don't have the boost controller on, or I don't have any CO2 in the bottle, so this is just on the wastegate anyways. So I'll fill this bottle up, the CO2 bottle, we'll change the jet and we'll try it again. All right, so we got the smallest jet I think that they make, or at least that came with the stuff we got. It's a 20 jet, so we're cutting it more than in half, because that was, even a 52 was like way too much, so we'll try and slow it down. Cut it more than in half should help it out, because you need it to be you need it to get to some kind of load in order to build boost, and I don't just want to leave it up on the chip all like nasty like that. So just make it slow down a little bit. It's working too good. Apparently that slowed it down way too much. I was surprised that I would have figured it would have been faster than that. But I guess 22 jet sizes or 32 jet sizes is a big change, so let's see. Yeah, so there it was basically like it was without any nitrous in it. So that was like nothing. All right, now I got the 36 jet since that was too much. Too much as in not enough. So that's just a nice small jet, only adding 10 pounds an hour of additional fuel to that, so real small. Let's look at the data log. I didn't turn the boost controller on again, just to be sure, because I know once it's up on the chip it doesn't have a problem building boost. It's just getting up on the chip and on the chip long enough, and once it's on the chip then I can start yanking timing out of it with my timing retard to build the boost. So that seems to be working fine. With no boost controller, so this has got a 4-pound spring in the wastegate. With no boost controller on, we're at 5 pounds of boost in 4 seconds. So with the boost controller on, I'll be dumping some dome pressure on it. Don't even think it really hit my, yeah, it had just come into my timing retard, which now that I am able to get it up on the chip and not have it drag back down because it doesn't have any nitrous in it, I'll be able to yank more timing out of it to get it to build more boost sooner. So it'll change the strategy that I already have for a boost builder in here. It's just going to probably require me to yank some more timing out of it sooner, because right at the very end there, it just came into my retard here. So we'll just bring that in sooner because it's up on the chip so fast, and then it should bring this curve back and build boost sooner. So that's pretty much the game plan with this thing. Everything's working so far with the nitrous just fine. So I think I'm actually going to put the dash back in it. And then now we're just waiting for the delivery guy to bring my springs. We can put our struts on and be done.
Yep.
All right. All right, we finally got the springs in. Motor State actually came early today and dropped these off. So we've got our Eibach 200-pound inch springs for these struts. And we're gonna go ahead, I already put one together, just make sure everything fit and look right. And it appears to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one together, my one mix-maxed one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the car.
That made the beat.
All right, so as I'm finishing this up, we don't really have the equipment. Well, we probably do have the equipment to do it some kind of way, but to set the caster and the camber on these. So what my kind of plan is I'm going to take it down because we're going to Kevin's anyways, working on the Camaro. I'll probably just at the same time while we're doing that, do a alignment real quick on this with the right tools. And then Kevin obviously is a knowledgeable chassis guy, so he'll be able to help me get everything set up the way I need it. So should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these nuts down, tighten this nut down, get our ride height set, and we're all ready to go. All right, so we've got our car ready to go. Just need to do an alignment and set the caster camber on everything. I tried to put them back exactly where they were. So it looked like it'll be pretty close. The steering wheel is nice and straight. I did a rough measurement on it, it's close. So we'll get it dialed in when we're at Kevin's, but got my other car here because I thought it would be cool to do a side-to-side comparison. You can tell they are the exact same car. This one's a lot cooler. Yet.
For now.
For now. So we're gonna go ahead and get this pig loaded up and we're gonna head to Florida. So we'll see you there.